Hi, friend.
Hey, friend. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Just enjoying our little coffee here in the morning, and you know, yeah, your hair looks really nice right now. It's gorgeous. I love it. Beautiful.
Absolutely nothing to it.
Well, I love it.
I
I think
woke
it looks
up
great.
like this.
You did.
All right. Welcome back, everybody.
Yeah, welcome. Episode 2. We're here again.
We did it. We're killing it over here.
We hope you enjoyed episode 1. We did say that we're gonna jump into our love of season 1 with One Tree Hill, the highs, the lows. So that's kind of where we're gonna take today's episode.
Yes. Season 1. Our love for season 1.
Yeah. Well, before we get into the highs and lows, I definitely want to touch base on like the theme song really quick.
Okay.
Because, okay, so if you don't know, the theme song for One Tree Hill is I Don't Want to Be by Gavin DeGraw. Gavin was killing it back in the day in those early 2000 years. That song,
It's still a banger.
It still is. But the reason why I want to touch base on it is because basically, like nowadays, if I have the skip intro option, it's happening. If I'm watching a show or a movie or something, it's like you can skip the credits, skip the music, whatever. I'm skipping it. I will rewatch.
Do you skip the Friends intro?
Sometimes. I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, and I love Friends. I'm a huge Friends fanatic, but like,
who are you?
So I mean, I've watched that show so many times that I'm just like, okay, I get it. I'll be there for you. Like, I got it. Okay, like, it's a good one. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying for TV theme show music, like, I never skip One Tree Hill one. I jam out and sing that song every single time.
Yeah. It's also just like a banger. So obviously, like in the car driving somewhere, your iTunes music is on shuffle, your playlist or whatever, and I have OTH playlists on my phone because obviously
Ditto.
bought the soundtracks and the things like that. And so when that one comes on, it's an instant volume all the way up, screaming
sure.
at the top of your lungs. It's also just like an anthem of like who you are and who you don't have to change, you don't have to shrink, you don't have to be small, and you can just exist, and what you bring to the table is enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's a perfect song for to fit the show.
It fits the show so well.
Yeah, and I think it's very hard to sometimes get like a theme song like that where you're just like, oh, it matches so well. Or hello, morning doggies.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
How are we doing today? Are we not liking the neighbors outside?
I figured that was gonna happen.
Yeah, it happens. It's part of life, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Listeners, I have 2 dogs, a black lab and a little chihuahua. So maybe you're hearing a black lab. I mean, I guess we could look at the mic. Yeah. Black lab's name is Corbin. Speaking of love of movies, Corbin is named after Corbin Dallas from Fifth Element.
Oh, I love that. I actually never knew that.
Oh.
That's awesome. I did not know that.
That is who he is named after. And Kix is not named after anybody. She's named after a cereal. But
Hey, Kix. Hey, everybody loves cereal.
True.
So everybody's going to love Kix.
Frozen.
All right, are we calm now?
Are we fine now? Everybody okay?
I love that. You just wanted to get in on the podcast, didn't you? Yes.
You could be the face of the podcast. So yeah, back to the theme song. And
yeah, I think there's one other show that I will say is probably one of the best theme show music of all time besides this one, and that will be Golden Girls.
Solid. I could argue that Jersey Shore has a fist pumping intro. And so for our listeners, we are both currently wearing shirts that we feel kind of match the episode, and so I'm wearing an Insomnia. I'm gonna mess that up, and pants are gonna freaking tell me. An Omnia Paratus, which is from the Life and Death Period from Gilmore Girls, and the theme.
A show I never watched.
Let me tell you, it's not a show I think you would like. If I'm being honest,
she has been honest about that with me because I always say I was like, you are a big fan of that show, and I
don't think you'd like it, but I also love it, and it's now One Tree Hill has been like I would watch it start to finish every year, especially because you can binge stuff now. But Gilmore Girls has taken the place of that, and I don't know if it's just because like the stage of life I'm in.
Yeah.
I also don't necessarily want to watch like the later episodes of One Tree Hill. That's not where my heart is. The earlier seasons are.
That makes sense.
And so I feel like Gilmore Girls has just transitioned into like
I will agree with that too, because I sometimes feel like some shows go on for too long, and I did start to feel that way a little bit towards season 8 and season 9. However, I want to say that I actually think One Tree Hill did it right when they did that jump from season 4 to season 5.
Yes.
I like that they made that jump 4 years ahead of it, which we'll talk about that when we get closer to season 4 and then transitioning into season 5.
I don't need to see your awkward college years.
Exactly. So a lot of times, and I've actually had this conversation with some people in my family, that a show, if it starts in high school, it's great. And then when they go to the college years, we lose it. And then they just don't, it just doesn't have legs to stand on. Right. But when you make that jump into adulthood, now it feels fresh again, because it's like, okay, what have they been doing for 4 years? So I will say, I think One Tree Hill did that transition really well. Whereas some other shows, a cult classic favorite for a lot of people in this generation is Glee. That was one of my favorite shows. I don't think you ever watched that one, but a lot of people are like, the first 3-4 seasons were great with that original cast in high school. And then when that cast went on to college, they tried to follow them, but then bring new people into the high school years. And it was never the same. Yep. And people then hated it afterwards. So it's like, if you're a fan of Glee, you're a fan of like the first few seasons, and then that's it. You don't want to watch the rest of it. It's just like, it could have ended here. Whereas like One Tree Hill, like, I was like, oh, are they going to keep going after season 4? Obviously they did, but I'm just like, they could have ended it there. But then the fact that they came back and just kind of revamped how they were just going to introduce it and reintroduce it.
Also like the flashbacks to when they were in college to kind of highlight that awkward transition from being in high school and being around, all of your friends, to going off to new places and see new people. I actually stopped watching a show when it transitioned to them going into college.
Yeah, it's really hard. Another one that stands out to me is Saved by the Bell, back in the day.
That's a throwback. I was thinking something more recent, All American, but yeah.
Oh, yes. No,
I stopped watching it. I couldn't handle it.
So I'm still watching it week to week.
Wow.
Because I am also one of those stubborn people that, like, if I've put this much time into something, I'm gonna finish
that person too, but I stopped.
Well, I'm right there.
And now I feel like I'm too far behind. I think I'm like a season behind.
But now I just found out, like, this is literally either the last season or the next one is the last one. Like, they literally announced it. So now I'm like, okay, I put in the time, and I was like,
So for me, I think it was last year, last season, I stopped watching.
Yeah.
I don't care what happens. And then they had the spinoff, and I didn't care about the spinoff because I didn't like the girl who did the spinoff about, like, her character. I'm sure the woman who plays her.
But yeah, Saved by the Bell back in the day for me, like, I loved the high school episodes, and then they tried to do the college years, and I was like, this.
I feel like that happened with Boy Meets World.
Oh, see, no, Boy Meets World got better when they got to college. In a sense. They did. I mean, obviously they kind of steered away from some earlier storylines where you're just like, that's not what they talked about in the past. But the comedy got funnier in college because they could make more adult jokes because they got older, I think.
Guess it's true.
But like,
they also did a lot of real stuff in that.
Yes.
Season. Or in the older episodes, they dealt with a lot of more adult things.
Yeah.
And as a kid growing up watching that, and then seeing them go off to college and dealing, sexual assault, parental abuse, things like that, that were kind of touched on in the show, if I remember correctly, which is possible I don't. I think it was Sean's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Had a rough time, just like being a kid or a teenager watching that.
Yeah,
college seems crazy.
So to bring it all back in, because we started this tangent with the reason why we're wearing. So for Gilmore Girls, because they brought it back. It was like a reboot.
Yep, they did A Year in the Life.
Yep, and then I'm wearing a Harry Potter, my Slytherin shirt, because obviously not a TV show. It was movies before, but now they're doing a TV adaptation of it. I have very opinionated thoughts on that.
You and the rest of the freaking world.
Here's the thing. I'm super excited for it. Like, I love Harry Potter, so I'm very excited to see what they're going to do. Each season apparently is going to be a book. So like season 1 is going to be the first book.
I hear fans are excited about that because there were a lot of things you can only capture so much in the movie.
Yes. So people are excited about that aspect. What we're not excited about is the casting choices. I don't want to get too much into it because I don't want to sound like insensitive, but like
ladies,
here we go.
I feel like we need a PSA.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything like offensive. I'm just going to say, like, for instance, there's the way they describe certain characters in the book.
Gotcha.
And how they were portrayed in the movie was very spot on. they're picking some actors that ethnically don't match. For instance, Snape is, Snape is one of my favorite characters. Very misunderstood. You kind of hate him throughout almost the whole thing, but then all of a sudden something changes and you know the reasons why he's doing what he's doing, and then you just learn to love him, and he's just fantastic. No, way better than Dan Scott. Way better than Dan Scott, I promise you. But basically his character is described as like very quiet, sullen, light pale skin, dark stringy black hair. Like that's how he's described. He's being played by a very attractive black man in the series.
For our listeners, just loves herself a black man.
Oh, here we go. Now we're getting into dating. Okay. We're not there yet. We're not going to dive into my dating life just yet. But I'm just saying, like, again, he's an amazing actor. Beautiful attributes. He's a beautiful man. But he doesn't match the character description. That's my issue with it. It's not about, bringing in different ethnicities to play characters and roles. Like, I want to see that diversity, but when somebody is described a certain way and they've been pictured a certain way, I'm like, how can you stray from that? It's just kind of hard.
Yeah.
So.
And I definitely think the difference is, again, not wanting to get too political. I'm really political. Jess knows this very much about me. For our listeners, I'm also mixed race. For our viewers, you might not believe me, and that's okay. But it's true. Jess has seen my family. So, I agree. I think my husband and I actually talked about this too. I want to say it was about a vampire movie. Couldn't tell you anything about it. But, the Vampire Lestat, I at least know that, is a new show came out about it.
Okay.
And in the book, they're written a very certain way. They own slaves in the book or whatever. But then all of a sudden now in the reboot, they have a different ethnicity playing that character. And my husband was like, listen, like, again, same thing. I want to see diversity. I want to see representation. Representation matters. Again, shameless plug for disability. Seeing different races matters. Seeing different genders matters. Seeing different abilities in things like that. All of that matters. And I think where we kind of run into the very thin line that runs is, okay, the writer wrote it this way. Like, why would a black man own slaves?
I'm not going to comment on that, but I'm agreeing with what you're saying.
But that's kind of what we were talking about. And then opposed to the difference of everyone being upset that Ariel was played by a black woman. No, mermaids aren't real. Mermaids can be whatever mermaids can be blue for all I care.
That type of recast did not bother me.
Because there's not it would be like looking at a history book and then having that done in a play, Hamilton, for example, and then having those players not match the historical, and again, Harry Potter's not historical to a sense, but like, it's kind of the same thing. I'm not going to bring a white dude to play Obama.
Exactly. I think it's what you're saying is that, like, it's the way it's been described to us for so long, right? So even though they casted, I'm forgetting her name. She's the actress with The Little Mermaid. I'm forgetting her name. I think their last name is Barry or something, or Chloe and Halle are their first names. I can't remember their last names right now, but one of them, I forgot which one played The Little Mermaid, but I actually enjoyed that recast. Like, I know a lot of people, like you said, were like, why when she wasn't like that in the Disney movie growing up? But if you really think about it, they never really commented too much on the way Ariel looked.
No.
So it wasn't.
We got Ariel as we got Ariel.
Exactly.
Like got Frozen the way we got Frozen, just like we got Princess and the Frog the way that we got Princess and the Frog. They're not described as a certain way, so we can take certain artistic liberties.
But when you take a character like Snape and describe him that way so vividly, it's hard for then someone to disassociate with how they should look. Yeah. So, and it's the same thing with that other character that you were saying that your husband. Yeah, like it's when the characters are described so vividly a certain way, that's where it's hard for us to break that mold.
Yeah, or even I just was talking to him about this too. Twilight.
Yes.
Jacob's Native American. It would be like if we redid Twilight and now all of a sudden Jacob is not Native American. You'd be like, he's from a tribe.
Yeah.
it would just seem a little out of place.
Yeah.
But again, hopefully our listeners aren't like, yeah, these two.
Yeah, like I said, we're not trying to knock down the bringing in diversity into roles. That's not what we're saying at all. I think it's just there's a time and a place for it, and it's just sometimes it's not done the way sometimes viewers want to see it. And again, these are just our opinions.
Yeah.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion. So if we feel this way, cool. If you feel a different way, like we're not judging it. Like that's just we're just bringing our ideas and our thoughts to the topic of conversation. So before we get into the season 1 highs and lows, because we touched base on this, I'm going to get into my hot take right now.
Ooh, okay.
Because I just feel like if we go back to it later, it's just going to be weird.
Okay.
So I just feel like because we're touching base on this right now with like the reboots and the remakes and all the things. So that's my hot take for the week.
Oh, okay.
Is I have a love-hate relationship with it because so the Harry Potter thing I touched base on, but then there's also things like sometimes I see something being remade and they're taking it the exact same way and then they're trying to do it the exact same way. And that I don't like. I actually would prefer like if you take it and put your own spin on it. So like for instance, there was the Bel-Air reboot, so from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people were like, oh, it's not the same. And I'm like, but I like that it's not the same because if you try to recreate that magic of what Fresh Prince was with Will Smith and the original character was called,
you're gonna fall short.
Yeah, it's not going to be the same. So what Peacock did was they took the series and they took a dramatic spin on it. Yeah, so I actually enjoyed it. I mean, they canceled the show after what I think like 3 seasons now, but like I enjoyed that they took like a totally different direction with it, and like same with they're doing Freakier Friday. I like that it's like 20 years later, but they're not like they're doing it with the same formula, but they're putting a different spin on it.
Yeah, Happy Gilmore too. Same thing.
Yes.
Really worried. I've seen Happy Gilmore before, but we watched it again just as a refresher before the other one came out.
Same.
And I was like, how is this just gonna be like, I'm gonna pick up where it left off 20 years ago? That's not really gonna be believable. And they just did, Adam Sandler just did such a phenomenal job paying homage to the different cast members and the different storylines and tying everything together. I feel like you have to remind me of that too as we talk about One Tree Hill and its reboot. Like, you're hearing all of these things about, oh, well, Nathan and Haley might not be in it, and Chad Michael Murray isn't confirmed. And you're just kind of like, how can you have this show without that? But if we're taking it as a reboot at face value, it's not supposed to be the same show.
Yeah.
I personally would love to see, for what we do know of the show, I would love to see Peyton and Brooke kind of take on the Deb and Karen role of the other season, where they're there and they kind of have storylines kind of woven in with the kids, but it's about their kids. It's not about Brooke and Peyton 20 years later. It's about their kids, Jude and Davis and Sawyer. It's about them, and they kind of get to make their cameos in and out, or we get to hear about Nathan and Haley and what they're doing if they're not in the town. I think that would be better than trying to recapture magic in a bottle.
Yeah. Because right now I feel like we're living in the time of like reboots and remakes. Like it's almost as if like nobody can come up with anything original anymore. If we really think about it. I mean, think about Devil Wears 2. We're coming out
Practical
with a
Magic
sequel.
2.
Yes, which
I can't freaking wait.
I know. I'm so
Magic
excited
2.
for that one. Devil Wears Prada is one of my favorite movies of all time. So I'm super excited about that one. But again, I feel like what they're gonna do with those sequels, that it's been long enough that like they're going to create something new and there's going to be some new magic to it. Whereas like so here's where the hot take comes in. Because you're going to hate me for this because you love these movies. Fast and Furious.
Listen, we gotta go there.
Listen, I love me some Fast and Furious. I love watching those movies.
That is true.
However, it's too many. It's just too many.
I don't disagree with you.
So that's where I'm saying like it's like so I guess like reboots and sequels is kind of like my hot take. It's like, when do you leave it alone and when do you bring something back? And I feel like Fast and Furious probably would have had more of an effect is after, where's the one where like Brian is like done, like his character, because
7. Fast and Furious should have ended at 7. That send off at the end of that movie, I cry anytime I hear that song because I think of that moment.
Yes.
Being in the movie. It should have ended at 7. I didn't need 8, 9, 10, 11, and soon to be 12 next year.
Oh, Lord.
Like, I don't need that.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe at 7, if they wanted to keep going, it should have been a reboot, and it should have been Brian's kid and
like
Dom's
something
kid.
like take a break from it, take a hiatus, and also to venture back to first episode what we were talking about with Jersey Shore. They did the same thing.
Yeah.
They did it for a couple seasons. Then they took that hiatus. Then they came back as grown adults, different people.
Yes.
And it's like a whole brand new show.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why these things are so successful, is because they're doing a new take on it and a fresh take. So my thing is like, leave the continuing, like the Fast and the Furious, so many in a row. Leave it alone.
Yep.
But like with remakes and reboots, like give it some time. There needs to be that time in between.
Bring in cameos of our favorite characters.
Yes.
Bring in a cameo of Dom and Letty, and I mean Mia can definitely come back in. Vin Diesel just did a press release of announcing it because they're building that roller coaster ride at Universal.
Ooh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, there's a whole it's going to be a whole.
So you're saying we need to go to Universal at some point?
Yes.
Okay, down. Yes. Are you guys coming with us? Do you have a hot take for the week? Or will it tie in later after we talk about some stuff? Because the hot takes can happen at any time. I mean, let's just be unhinged here.
Okay. Hot take. Actually, I think I do. Yes. Unpopular opinion. I do have a hot take.
She has a hot take, people. Just like our hot coffee right now.
Coffee. That was a Gilmore Girls reference when I said coffee.
You and your Gilmore. Okay, maybe I should just give it a try, just to see if I like it.
I'm gonna tell you, you need to make it through episodes 1 through 5.
Didn't we not say this in the last?
Yes. That's how it was
give it a couple
supposed to
episodes.
be. First 5 episodes, you're like, what the frick is this? And then you're.
I'm watching a lot of stuff right now, but when I have like my next downtime and I need something different to watch, I will give.
I would recommend that. I also adore Lauren Graham, who plays Lorelai.
I like her as an actress, though. Everything I've seen her in, I've actually enjoyed.
I love her. She wrote a book.
Okay.
I read the book last year, but I read it in her voice in my head, like as I was reading. And then my sweet coworker is the one who turned me on to Gilmore Girls, and she was like, "We should get together and watch A Year in the Life together." It's 4 episodes, 4 hours.
So it's like little mini movies. Like they did like
movies.
okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
They did 4 seasons. Great, implied in the Gilmore Girls arc. And I went over to her house and she had decorated it. She like made there's a gazebo in the town. She made a gazebo and we had all the snacks from the movie. We got pizza, we had coffee.
Oh, fun. Okay.
Got there. It was a super fun little watch party. So
nice.
I don't remember what I was. Oh, that's why I said coffee. So Gilmore Girls. But that's what I was saying. You have to get past episodes 1 through 5.
All right. I'll give it a shot at some point.
My hot take.
Yes.
Everybody. I feel like this is coming out more and more now on social media.
Okay.
But everybody is like, we came to One Tree Hill for Lucas Scott, Chad Michael Murray, but we stayed for James Lafferty, Nathan. Speak for yourself. I came to the show for James Lafferty. There was not a single moment in me watching this show that I was like, Team Lucas. I was 100% Team Nathan from episode 1 through the end.
Yeah. I will say, because obviously I started watching at a different time, and so I will say, jumping into that first episode of season 6, I didn't see the Lucas appeal just from what I was seeing in that episode. I was more gravitated to James's character Nathan in the show, but when I went back to watch season 1, watching the pilot, I didn't have a feeling about either one. But again, I was watching it a couple years older. I think maybe also had I watched it truly at that time. Because I would have also been closer to that age, I think I would have thought differently.
Yeah.
So, again, but I will say from season 1, as soon as I saw, not right away, but I actually in the early seasons had a huge crush on Jake.
Who didn't?
Yeah. So,
Brian Greenberg,
I mean, I will say, like, whatever they were doing with his hair in season 1, I was like, can you do this poor man like the right way? Like what are you doing to his hair?
He was an awkward teenager.
No, but he really wasn't. Like you could see it. There was you could see it in his character. I'm like, there's a hottie under that hair. I'm like, I don't know what this.
I feel like in the first episode when they call out Jake Jagelski, he has shorter hair. Yeah. And then all of a sudden when they kind of come back in, when they find him underneath the tree sleeping, he's got this like moppy curly hair situation going on.
I was very upset with the whole like Jake not being a part of the show for like a longer period of time. I loved Brian Greenberg for real, like in real life, and I actually started watching this other show with him. It was on HBO. It was How to Make It in America. I literally started watching that show because of him, and I was like, I don't know why we don't see this man in more stuff. I really don't. he's an amazing actor too. So again, I love Jake Chakowski, Brian Greenberg for real. But I'm just saying, like, I love him. So.
That's fair. But yeah, I guess that would be my hot take. Is
no, I agree.
I never once watched the show for Lucas.
A lot of people do say that, and I will agree with you that is a hot take. But I'm with you. Once I started watching the show, I never had like a thing about Lucas. Like I think it was like once Nathan started to, show interest in Haley, and I saw him starting to change, I was like, yeah, this is the guy.
But what's also funny is I did not end up marrying a Nathan Scott. And that's all I ever wanted, was to marry a Nathan Scott. I married a Lucas. My husband is moody and broody and sullen.
I think you actually married I think Brian is a mix of both. I think he's a mix of both.
His good qualities are very much good Nathan.
Yeah, but like also he likes the sports and he
does like the sports, and I guess he did get into some trouble.
I'm just saying, like, I think you actually found the best of both worlds in that one. I mean, kudos to, she found a good one. She found a good one. But no, you found yourself a good one. And she says that. She's like, I always wanted a Nathan Scott. I think you got both. I think you got both Scott brothers mixed into one, which I'm here for.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic for you.
I feel like I got all the good qualities of both, I guess, now that we put it that way. But agreed. I could also spend a whole entire episode talking about my husband, so we don't need to do that. So that's my hot take. Always was there for Nathan, never was there for Lucas.
Yeah, but you are right. A lot of girls and women now who are either rewatching or watching for the first time are totally saying that. And I think it's because also Chad Michael Murray is just like everywhere.
Again,
yeah, like he was everywhere then and he's everywhere now. So I think that has.
I watched the Netflix holiday movie that he was in.
I loved it. Even though his dancing was horrible. I mean, so a little more background about me is I've been in the dance world my entire life. I grew up a competitive dancer. I now work at a dance studio. I work for a dance convention. So I'm surrounded by dance all the time. The dancing in that movie was trash. Let's just call a spade a spade. It was trash. Okay. Most low budget films with choreography are, but the work he did, I'm like, he looked good. It was fantastic. I would just watch it alone, just on mute. Like, I don't even need the audio or anything like that. Like, he just looked good in the movie.
I was more so gonna plug into the fact that, like, James Lafferty just did that American Eagle. Was it American Eagle?
Eagle. Like a commercial?
No, the ad.
I did not see this. Oh, please pull this up for me. I need to see this.
Oh, okay. But that's the whole entire thing. It's a picture of him in the show, season 1, as Baby James.
Okay.
And then he ages like a fine wine in this American Eagle ad.
Wait, maybe you did show this to me.
I don't know how I didn't.
I mean, we sent each other a lot of videos, a lot of memes. Let's be real. That's like our whole friendship.
Yeah, it was American Eagle, which,
it's just not ringing a bell in my head.
I feel like when you see it, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking
Probably.
about. Because even his caption was, it's the oldest story in the world, returning to court in American Eagle 24/7. And it's like this.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
and so for our viewers, he's sitting on a basketball rack holding his ball. That is one of his most infamous shots from when he was in the show.
Yeah.
And so everybody's like, oh, James Lafferty as a kid versus James Lafferty now. And I feel like you couldn't do that with Lucas.
I agree with that. I
don't think it would have the same. There is that one that I'm just a kid. That thing, and it's the two of them standing up against.
I did wall. Like that. Yeah, I liked that
cute,
video.
But it was cute because Nathan. I could have cared less about.
I thought they both looked good though in that. I mean, I agree. I'm more of a Nathan girly. I'm Team James as well, but I'm just saying, like, for what it was, I liked both. I liked them both in that. So, but yes, I'm Team James as well. Yeah. But low key Team Jake. Low key Team Jake all the way. We didn't get enough of him, unfortunately. So, okay, should we get into our highs and our lows?
Yeah. Okay.
Do we want to just? I mean, do you want me to just rattle them out, like what my highs are? And you'd be like, ooh, oh, I don't.
Yeah.
Okay. So, unfortunately, I got to look at my notes because, I had to watch the whole season and I had to take down notes. So, gotta have it. Lucas and Haley's friendship right from the start, genius. I thought it was great. I love to see a male-female friendship because I've gotten so many comments before, like, you're friends with a dude. Yes. Like, why is it that two single people who are attractive cannot be friends? Like, there's always that stigma of that. So that was a high for me because I've always gravitated more towards being friends with guys. It wasn't until like now in my like late 20s into my 30s now that I have more closer girlfriends. Growing up, I had a lot of guy friends, and people used to always just be like, "Oh, you're just hanging out with him, like you like him." I'm like, "No, I could care less about him. Like I'm not into him like that." So
they also did their friendship a really good service in the fact that not once did I ever want Lucas and Haley to get together.
Yes, like you never like. There's other
never
shows.
Never once did I think,
yes,
oh, those two should be together.
There's always those shows where it's like, oh, they're best friends. They're going to end up together, and you know that that's where it's going.
Yes,
they didn't do that with them, and I really appreciated that too. So yes, you were right. So that's one of my highs. Another one, Lucas and Peyton music connection. As much as I'm actually not a Lucas and Peyton fan together, but I liked that they had that musical connection because I feel like in relationships, that is a big part sometimes. I'm not saying that you have to like the exact same music, but I just feel like, you know, you sometimes hear a song and it like takes you back to a moment or a memory. And so I just feel like that's really important in relationships, just to have like a little bit of a musical bond.
Okay.
So I like that. And also you can kind of see like where they were going with those two. So Jake befriending Lucas, I thought was a super high just because of everybody, how they were treating him on the team in the first season. So just to give a little backstory, Nathan was the star of the team. Lucas was not because he was the
outcast.
Yes, because his father disowned him. He didn't want to be in his life. And so.
But also, did he really disown him?
I mean.
I feel like that goes back to our previous episode of Ron and Sam. Both parties made mistakes here.
Yes, they did. So we could debate that another time. But yeah, so basically I'm just saying like the whole team was against Lucas. I really enjoyed Jake taking the time to like actually befriend him.
Take the high road.
Yes.
Encourage Lucas to take the high road. Be a good example.
Yes. Another high for me was the music. I mean, early on, I think that show established that music was going to be very prevalent.
Yes.
For me, music is a huge part of my life. Like I mentioned before, I can literally listen to a song and just it takes me back to that moment. So I just really connect with music. So as soon as I heard the soundtrack of this season and like watching the episodes, I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. Just the music in general. Discovering Jake's music abilities. I think that's what it was for me in season 1. When he started singing and then all of a sudden we saw the baby and we were like, oh my God, he has a baby. Like Jake has a baby and then he's singing and he's playing the guitar. And I'm just like, that to me was like so attractive. Just like the musical ability that he had. So maybe that's why I was team Jake. Because I just always love music. So maybe that's why I leaned more towards that. And also he played basketball. So I got the sports and the musical side. So, and then my last high was seeing Nathan evolve into a better human being. I think that's when I just knew it was going to be Teen James for me because just he went from being a total douchebag to just like everybody that like you would everything you would want in a guy, like what you would want in a relationship. So
and I know in like later seasons they talked about that too of like Haley feels like she changed him or she whatever. But yes, Nathan changed for Haley, so I don't necessarily love the perpetuation. I'm like, you can change a man. Can't change a man. A man can change a man.
He decided to make that change.
He decided to make the change. And he decided that he wanted to step his game up because of who she was.
Yeah. Because she never, if you watch it back, she never
asked him to
She never said, do these things, be this. I mean, I think there was one moment where she was just like, you keep saying these things, but like, you're not showing, like, you're not doing anything to fix it. She did say that, but.
Well, she called him out. That's not asking.
Exactly. She's not saying, oh, do this and do that. She's just saying, like, be the person that you're saying you want to be.
Yeah.
And he did.
If you don't like who you are, fix it.
So, yeah, I agree. I think he did it on his own because he found a good girl. She wasn't really a woman. So, like, that's the other hard part is that I'm like, they're in high school. I'm like, we're acting like this is an adult relationship. But I'm like, it really wasn't.
Adult relationship.
So,
they made it an adult relationship.
Yeah. Do we want me to do my low?
I'll chime in with my highs.
Okay.
I feel like we had very similar highs. Music on par, 10 out of 10. Every song that they chose for every moment that was going on. The fadeaway shot.
Ooh, the fadeaway shots.
The friggin' the bus drive. Did we just steal the school bus? I think we just stole the school bus. So, like, I think that all of that, all of those song choices.
Hayden driving in the car?
Yes.
And this is all first episode.
Uh-huh.
That's crazy.
It set the stage for sure.
It definitely did.
So music for sure. I think just introduction to the story, Karen, and kind of the backstory, just seeing a little bit more into the world. There's some flaws into the world, but we don't have to talk about that now. I guess that would be a low. And just the end. I'll be seeing you. Like, I feel like that ending is the magic.
Yeah, I agree.
We just scratched the surface of that episode. So, yeah.
I had a lot more highs. But
I guess that was just also the first episode. I mean, the whole entire, in my brain, I was like, oh, first episode. Whole series, man. The Naylee love story, how do you not?
When she gives him the bracelet, don't say I never gave you anything.
Yeah. And then,
or no, he did that to her.
He did that to her.
He did that to her, but that just becoming a staple, just like that little charm bracelet.
Even the little Easter eggs where Lucas was like, "Hey, cool bracelet." She's like, "Oh my god, how you noticed? I'm wearing something different."
Yeah.
I also just think the progression of Haley turning from my little sister best friend into her own person and exploring the relationship with Nathan and trying to juggle both of those worlds. I loved Karen and Deb and their kind of arc throughout this season.
Yes.
And getting to know one another and just kind of being there for one another to the end, to have her be like, "No, Karen, we should go to Italy." Like,
yeah. It's funny, though, that you should mention that because that's actually one of my lows.
Interesting.
But not for the same reason.
Okay.
The high is that I actually did like that they were, like, to speak on what you were saying, I understand why it's a high because these two women who have been put through some shit with
they live in the
Dan,
same friggin' town.
Live in the same town. Got literally pregnant within what they said 2-3 months of each other.
Yeah.
I think like he got both of these women pregnant. He dumps the one, goes to college, gets this other one pregnant, brings her back to his hometown, and to like show it to his ex's face.
Yeah.
The grace that those two handled that situation with like, we need to get past this. Like, we have lived a similar story, but like,
that doesn't. And without it, we wouldn't have our boys.
Exactly. We wouldn't, like, just because we can't stand him right now or have ever stand him before or whatever he's put them through, like, we have two amazing sons out of it. So I think that they got that to that point, I think was great. My low is that I don't think it would have happened as fast as it did. Like, and again,
I'm surprised it took that long. They've lived in the same town since they were
born,
and they're 16 years old.
But we're introduced to it right away in the episode, so it feels very like this shouldn't be happening yet. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
it does to go from completely avoiding one another to midway through the season, well, let me come work for you. Let me run your shop while you're gone. But maybe, did Deb do that out of guilt?
Yeah, like that's what my low is more so like I just don't think that she would be running Karen's Cafe. I don't think Karen would have let something like that, like
to a complete stranger.
Exactly. Like, yes, they're moving past it and they're being that. So that's what I mean by my low. Not that they
could have explained Deb's, like, we know Deb's in business and she works for nonprofit. So maybe if they would have discussed that a little bit more.
Maybe. I just feel like they just now got close. And so now you're going to trust a 17-year-old business that you've been building
from scratch
or 16,
without any help.
They weren't seniors yet, 16, whatever. But
15, 16. Even.
Something that you've been doing for that long is like your second baby. You're not just going to leave that to
your baby
anybody.
Daddy's new wife?
You're not, like, again, yes, they've lived in that town for so long. They've seen each other over time, but they've just now started to put that drama behind them. It took 16 years to do it.
That's true.
So now you're going to trust this woman with your business? Like, that just wouldn't happen in real life, is all I'm saying. So that was a low for me.
That's a fair low.
But I understand the high as the being grown women and getting past it and creating some sort of relationship.
Or even the sisterhood of, like, Deb realizing how terrible Dan is, Karen having already lived through that, kind of come alongside her and support her in that of, like, signing the divorce papers and doing all that stuff.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of both for me.
Yeah.
Any other highs for you?
I'm trying to think season 1, like what episode I watched the most of. And I don't really think one particularly stands out. Love the episode Brooke, Peyton, and Haley get stranded at.
Oh, that's a great episode. Yeah, I like that one.
Tin Hicks game or whatever.
That was also a great episode for Lucas and Nathan because they that kind of was a turning point for their relationship too, because they were so at odds.
Yeah.
For the most part. So
that's true. I like that episode a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I feel like I'm probably missing something, but
it's all good.
I think those are the ones that initially first come to mind.
Yeah. No, I agree. Those are good ones. I went first with my highs, so I'll let you go first with the lows if you want.
Low of season 1. I do think the one that stands out the most to me is how friggin' petty Karen was to Tim's mom. Was Tim's mom out of line?
Oh yeah, for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
But for her to be so catty and like, I mean, that's also very Karen. Like, you're still the same little bitch that you were in high school. Like that approach and her tone and things like that. That rings true to her character, and you also kind of love that about her. But man alive, also just again, 16 years. You were that traumatized, and again, this sounds really bad because you're like not taking someone's trauma at face value, but you dislike the situation so much that your son comes home and you see him in a Ravens jersey and you don't want him to play basketball for the Ravens because Dan used to play basketball and you don't want him to turn out like Dan. That just seems like such a it's like
that's one of my
that
lows.
Just seems so silly.
My thing is what I put down on my list was he's your son and you're not going to go watch his first high school basketball game that he's ever been a part of.
Yes.
Like, I don't care what.
And if you cared that much for him to not turn out like Dan, why even let him play basketball at all?
Yeah, like, clearly you
Maybe
know that
he could have been
loves
sneaking out to the river court to play basketball and you find out about it.
So to me, that was a low for me for Karen. Because, again, I'm like, this is your son.
Yes.
I feel like just the mothers that I've been around, you, my sister, our friend Becky, one of my really good friends, Erin, who you've met now, just the things that I've seen you guys do for your children and what you would do for your children, I could never imagine you guys being like, oh, I'm just going to stay open tonight and work or do whatever and not go to my son's first game. Like, there's no way. Like, there's just no way.
You know he's nervous.
Yeah.
You know it's a whole new stakes.
It's something
you know that it was Keith's idea, and you're still not gonna.
Also, it's been 16 years.
I can't step foot in that gym. You mean to tell me that you've never stepped foot on that school's campus in 16 years?
Yeah, and not only that, it's like you chose.
There are teacher conferences anyway.
You chose to live in this town. If you're really that like PTSD about it, it's like maybe you need to do. Maybe
in her defense, she was like, "Oh, he's going away to college. He's never gonna move home," and then he knocked up dead. Another low for me is
it's been 16 years.
16 years.
It's time to move on.
Go see a therapist. Talk to somebody about your feelings. Another low for me is how quick the switch from, again, 16 years. Deb and Dan happily married. They've got all the photos. They're on the beach. They're snuggling. How quick it went 0 to 60 for her to be like, get out of my house.
I agree with you.
How do we get there? Circumstances.
I do see the subtle things that were in there, that it was kind of a facade. When she first got introduced, you can kind of see it a little bit. Like you can.
Oh, because he's like.
You can sense the tension.
My wife?
Yeah, like you can sense there is some tension there.
Tension.
But again, they don't want to introduce that drama right away. But like I could see. I think that's just an attest to like who the actors are. I think Dan, what's his name, Paul Johansson in real life, and then
Barbara Allen Woods.
Thank you. I was like, I know, I love her. But yeah, I think that's just a testament to like their skills as actors, that they kind of did create that tension. You just have to like look for it, and that's the thing that's the reason why I like to go back and rewatch a lot of shows and movies, is because you pick up on those little cues and things that you didn't notice before, and these actors were actually doing those things. Like they were bringing those moments to life. And so I agree with you. It did go from like 0 to like, get out of my house, like all of a sudden. But if you actually watch the little digs that Dan would make, or like the little tension that they would have, even Nathan would make some comments sometimes like towards them. And so it's like, there's definitely been some issues along the road. It's just now that it's on a TV show, now it's being just out in the open. So
I didn't love Dan's parents coming for his birthday. That
was his parents were not great.
No,
they really weren't.
Freaking Royal is the worst. Royal's the reason Dan's the way he is, and I mean Nathan points that out too. So I didn't love that.
But the mom was also not that great either. Like,
no, she was the biggest enabler.
she was like, I did that for you. And I'm like, okay, like, you didn't do him any favors.
Yeah, you didn't help along the way here. Mama Dan. I'm like, and now I'm thinking about all these other hated the Nikki storyline.
That's season 2. We're not there yet. Wait. Season 1? Season 2. No, you're right. It started in season 1. It got more bigger in season 2, I feel like. Which
carousel scene, anybody?
Yeah.
She's there.
But that was towards the end of the season, I feel like.
It was, because Haley has her first party.
Yes.
And that's where...
Yeah.
It's wild to think of how much goes on. It's 22, 23 episodes. How much can go on in that 23, 22? Because you're like, no, that 100% is season 2.
Yeah.
But no, like...
Well, because I touched base on Nikki, like, when we talk about our next episode for, like, season 2, I'm going to touch base on Nikki. But
all right. We'll save it. We'll save it for the next Red Door.
Yeah. But Dan living vicariously through his son, that was a low for me. So that goes back to, like, the royal thing, what you were saying, like, his dad did these things to him, so now this is him doing it to his son. It's just a vicious cycle, and I feel like parents today are trying to change that cycle.
Trying to break those generational traumas, and Dan was not breaking generational trauma.
No,
he
was
instilling it, for sure.
Yeah, and I think the final low for me for season 1, it just kind of goes back to the creator of the show, because I think we've all, if you followed along with the show or things that have gone on behind the scenes with One Tree Hill, there's been a lot of negative stuff with the producer, the creator of One Tree Hill, and, you know, just towards the women on that show in general. He just was not the greatest. And it was very relevant in season 1 that the women were sexual objects. Like, they were used as sex objects.
100%. Throughout the whole entire
Brooke the entire time,
Brooke the entire time.
Every episode. And Peyton, the moment that stood out for me as Peyton being used as one, was the Nathan using her as a bet.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't do that with your girlfriend. Like, you just don't do that.
He gets you. What? Like, I can be treated like cattle?
So.
Yeah, and then just listening to the Drama Queens podcast and listening to Hillary Burton Morgan talk about that, and, you know.
Who's another queen in her life. She's a queen of her.
If I could be, there's a handful of women if I could snap and trade places with, which sounds crazy. But no, she is definitely one of them. Yes. Like, Hillary Burton Morgan as a human being, queen. Just
crazy, because I could not stand Peyton as a character, but I love Hillary.
Same.
I love Hillary in real life. She's fantastic.
Peyton had her problems, and Peyton had her place. I also think I wanted to be a Peyton girly. I wanted to be moody and mysterious, but I was very much a Joy or a Haley character.
You were. For me, I honestly feel like at that stage in my life, I actually feel like I was a mix of Brooke and Peyton together. Like, just me, for my personality. I feel like I was kind of like a mix of the two. Because I can be, like, flirty and bubbly and outgoing like Brooke, but then I can also have my moments where, like, I'm moody and I just want to listen to my music and shut the whole world out and be like Peyton, holed up in my room. Like, I definitely go back and forth. That's the Gemini in me. Yeah. Two sides to me.
Yes. Hillary Burton Morgan is definitely top 10 of my list. My boss actually went to New York, and so I told him about Sam's Sweet Shop. I was like, oh my gosh, because he's like, I'm going to go to Sam's Sweet Shop. Well, I know what that is, because you do. And I was like, yes, let me tell you all about Hillary Burton Morgan and Sam's Sweet Shop and Paul Rudd and their amazing relationship and, like, how they came. So I read her book. Why am I blanking on it?
I know what you're talking about. I'm blanking on the title as well.
The Rural Diaries?
Yes.
That's what it was. The Rural Diaries. Read that. So I read the whole entire story about how they came to own the sweet shop, and I love her witchy vibes. I want to be witchy. And I just...
Oh, we all know I want to be witchy.
I know. So. I'm just not witchy. I don't really want to be.
You're really not.
I know, but I want to be.
Yeah. But, we love you no matter who you are.
So. I want to be Hillary Burton Morgan, witchy, practical magic vibes. And I'm just...
Yeah. So I think we covered it all for season 1. I mean,
are we closing the door?
I think we might have to. I don't want to keep everybody too long.
True.
We got to get things going after this morning talk. But
yes.
But yeah. So I definitely think think we kind of left it out there for season 1. I think we left people intrigued to know what season 2 is going to be
Our
about.
thoughts about it, how we feel about it, our talks about reboots. We can definitely close.
Yeah, we had some good hot takes today too. I like that.
So for sure.
Yeah. So until next time, we're going to close the door on season 1.
And next time, join us for us to open the door on highs and lows of season 2.
Yep. Bye, friends.